Congresswoman, it would not be appropriate for her to be making any statements in light of the fact that there's a pending case, but I will share with you what we can. There was a lot of misstatements made about the motion that was filed. Very simply, the Congresswoman and I are friends. We go back many, many years, and what we did not want to put in the motion to fuel wild speculation, but we can address it now, is very simply that when you are friends, that's why a lot of times people don't represent friends and family, because it does get personal. She's been a public servant for 24 years in this area. She's done a phenomenal amount of good. We continue to support her personally and professionally, but we simply believed that it was not best for us to continue to represent her because of the relationship, the friendship that we've had for a long, long time. So there's been a lot of speculation about that she was trying to drag this case on. Well, you heard it right from the judge himself. He said that she's not doing that. She's making every good faith effort, but we believe it's in her best interest, and she concurs that it's best for her to bring on new counsel. And for people to speculate that because there's an indictment, people need to understand what an indictment means. In traffic court, you have traffic tickets, and that's the charging document. And then you go to traffic court, and then there's an allegation you were speeding or not. This is really, an indictment is really nothing more than the charging document that's in federal system. And there's a presumption of innocence. The Constitution absolutely insists upon that, and so should the public, and so should you all. And the fact of the matter is that she is simply pleading not guilty and is prepared to go to court when that court time comes, and she's going to go ahead and have her day in court. But for anybody to presume anything until that day comes would be unfair and unjust, particularly for a public servant who served 12 terms of office in this community serving the public. So with that, it's simply a breakup. And sometimes you break up, and sometimes you break up and you don't talk again, and sometimes you break up because it's best to remain friends and recognize that it's not best to get married, but you still want to be friends. And so that's really what's happened. We couldn't put all that in a motion, so we wanted to go ahead and defuse the wild speculation that was going on. You've heard the judge say that he's giving her 2 weeks. She's already talking to new lawyers. We're going to be assisting, helping in that transition, appropriately so. We wish her nothing but the best. We'll continue to be friends, and we'll assist her new counsel in any way. But it was best for her, in our opinion, in our humble opinion, to not have somebody that we're so close with to continue to represent, because sometimes you got to be a lawyer, and sometimes it's hard to distinguish being a lawyer and being a friend.
But
so that's where we find
you
ourselves.
referenced an atmosphere of hostility.
That's right. You ever had a fight with your husband or your parents?
So yeah, correct? I mean, you were friends going in.
Yes, but sometimes you're friends and you can handle it, and sometimes it turns out it goes in another direction. We quickly determined that it was best for it to go in another direction, that she would be better served with new counsel, and she concurred after it was discussed and it was reviewed. Usually you want to go to your friends. I've had it happen at other times. Sometimes we've represented friends, and sometimes we simply said we're not going to represent friends. Here we thought it would work, but because of the relationship, it simply was best that it not. And it's really nothing more than that. And for anybody to suggest that it is would just simply be wrong.
Congresswoman, do you feel like you have a
She's not going to answer
it? The judge seems to have understood where you're coming from at this point?
No, in fact, very simply, she has adequate finances. I'm sorry for you'll come back to your question in a second. I apologize. She's got adequate finances to bring on counsel. She understands what the range of cost will be, and she's talking to law firms that clearly understand that amount, and they're simply working within that. But yes, she can handle it, and we've thought it was only appropriate that we not charge her for any of our time. And so that way she's got all of her resources available to bring on new counsel. So when she does in the next couple of weeks, then we'll assist any and all ways possible. I'm sorry, you had a question.
Yeah, just like we're a week out from the election now, and it seems like the judge has sort of given you a chance to maybe breathe and get some counsel and someone you feel comfortable with after kind of all these hearings and changing people. And I know that's difficult in the case because you can't get in a rhythm. Do you feel like you have a breath of fresh air?
Can I say that my campaign is in the rhythm? It's going. No, I'm okay with it. As I said, I'm running my campaign, and the legal team, we're pulling it together. That's all.
What do you hope to get out of new attorneys that you haven't gotten out of your previous three
No,
teams?
I've had the best attorneys. That's not the issue. And so I'm putting together a team. And as I said, it's just not easy to do that, particularly when you're like me, a lawyer wannabe. That's the problem. So anyway,
And we had a team, but look, it's really with her, and with the Congresswoman and me. We go back a long, long way. We tell a story frequently that when my youngest was 6 months old, the Congresswoman was holding her, and my daughter peed all over her. That's not a suggestion of anything other than a fact, but we go back that, and my daughter is 10 years old, so that's how long we go back and have the friendship. And so we thought that it would work, and yeah, we did get into words, but no different than you get into words with your friends or your family, or people that you go out with, or anybody else.
Then
And
why
so
did you say
we
there was
back
an
we
atmosphere
we
of
back.
mistrust?
Well, initially there was, and we talked just like, in fact, people have an argument at home, and then they talk it out. We talked it out, and then ultimately concluded that we both agreed that this was the best interest. When we wrote all that, it was in fact true. You know, if in fact you think that you're having an argument with somebody, then they're not trusting you, but then you talk a little bit more, you calm down a little bit, and just like every other relationship, whether it's a romantic one or a business one or a political one or otherwise, when you talk, you work things out. And that's what we did, and we're both going forth and really wishing nothing but the best for each other. Dave, do you have anything to add? No.
How much will the defense in this case cost? You talked about a range of cost. So what
Somewhere between $1 and $1 billion.
okay. With that, I'm gonna leave it.
Excuse me. Thank you all.
I can't talk about the case legally, but
Can you talk about the election? You couldn't
Talk about your rhythm. You said you had a rhythm.
Sir, y'all couldn't.
Left foot, right foot, where's it going?
no, it's good. I mean, the rhythm of the campaign is going good. I mean, we had an excellent day yesterday. We had Congresswoman Barbara Lee, Congresswoman Maxine Waters coming in. This weekend I was with.
Is this getting in the way?
It is causing me to, work overtime, but that's what I do anyway. I'm on call 24/7 all the time, but I still have my constituent work. And campaigns is not going to change for what I'm doing as far as what I have to do for my constituents.
What are you telling people? I follow you, so I'm a reporter. But when Joe the plumber comes up, what do you say?
Joe the plumber is saying he's praying for me.
Yeah.
You better know
What's he
that.
praying for? I'll walk with you.
Excuse me. What's your step? What's your step, sir? What's your step?
She was touching me, so I just walked
Okay,
with her.
let me say goodbye to her
Please do.
privately, and then you all can have all the time you want.